All right, let's talk about that one thing you keep putting off. You know the one. Here's the truth. The task itself isn't actually that hard. It just feels huge. And I'm going to tell you right now, this has absolutely nothing to do with your motivation. We're so quick to blame ourselves, right? We think, ugh, I must have a motivation problem. I'm just lazy. I guess I don't want it enough. But what if I told you that's completely wrong? Okay, let's really dig in here. The truth is, you don't have a problem with motivation. You have a problem with your method. I mean, does this hit home for you? That feeling of just spinning your wheels? You can spend an entire day thinking about the work, planning the work, worrying about the work, and then do absolutely nothing of it. That paralysis you feel, that's not a flaw in your character. It's not you being lazy. It's simply what happens when your thinking has no structure. Okay, so if it's not laziness, then what in the world is it? Let's pop the hood for a second and really diagnose why you're procrastinating. And trust me, the answer is way simpler than you're probably imagining. It really all boils down to one simple question. The next time you feel yourself putting something off, I want you to stop and ask yourself, why? Seriously, why does this one task feel so overwhelming, so impossible to even begin? And this is where it gets interesting, because there's a chain reaction. So you ask why, and you probably answer, well, because the task just feels huge. Okay, fine, but why does it feel so huge? And the answer to that is usually because you don't actually know what the very first tiny physical step is. And why don't you know that? It's because the goal itself is way too vague. And boom, that's it. That's the real villain of this story. We can call it the unclear next action. That's the true source of your stagnation. It's not you. It's the simple lack of clarity on what specifically you're supposed to do right now. Your brain just sort of short circuits. It can't process a huge, fuzzy command like clean the garage or build a website. All right, so we've found the culprit. We've diagnosed the problem. So what's the prescription? What's the fix? Well, it is shockingly, almost ridiculously simple. We're going to call it the 10-minute rule. Just 10. That's the whole thing. That's the magic number. We're not talking about an hour of work. We're not talking about blocking off your entire Saturday. We're talking about 10 minutes. See, it's small enough that your brain can't really argue with it, but it's just powerful enough to kickstart that momentum you've been missing. This is how you shatter that overwhelmed feeling. So here's the game plan. It's 2 simple steps. Step 1, you're going to write down the very first physical action you can take that will last 10 minutes or less. So not clean the garage. It's grab a trash bag and put 10 things in it. Not write my essay. It's open a new document and write 1 paragraph. Step 2, you do it. That's the whole play. It's simple, it's clear, and it absolutely destroys that unclear next action. Okay, so that's the emergency fix. But what's really cool is how you can build this into a system, a reliable, long-term strategy. Let's look at a simple 4-step loop that you can pull out anytime you feel that procrastination monster creeping back in. So here's how the system works. First, you define. Get super clear on what the real problem is. What's the actual goal here? Second, you diverge. This is the fun part. You just brainstorm. Throw out every possible option for how to tackle this. There are no bad ideas at this stage. Third, you converge. Now you get focused. Look at your list and pick the single best path forward. And finally, number 4, you implement. And guess what that means? Yep, it means defining and then immediately doing that first 10-minute action. Okay, let's make this super practical right here, right now. I want you to think about that thing. You know what I'm talking about. The one you've been avoiding. What is the absolute smallest, easiest, first 10-minute step you could possibly take to get the ball rolling? So please, burn this into your brain. The next time you feel stuck, I want you to tell yourself, this is not a personal failure. I am not lazy. All it is a moment of unstructured thinking. And the best part? Now you actually have the tools to give it that structure. So look, if this is resonating with you, if this clicks, and you want to take this even further, we've actually put together a whole toolkit. It's got templates you can use anytime you're feeling stuck. The link for that is right in our bio. You've got the method now. It's time to go get unstuck.